next version of subtraction I'm going to show you, you may notice that I've put challenge, her, at the top of the page, because this is a little bit more tricky, a little bit more thinking power needed from us to solve it. Okay, so this is an example of when we have to borrow from the tens column when there isn't enough in the tens column. So as you can see, I've already set it out in the column form for you, so we're just going to dive straight in. So the ones column, we have 2 take away 6. You'll find out pretty quickly that we don't have enough to take 6 away, so we have to borrow. Now, usually we'd go next door to Mr. 10, but we've got a bit of a problem this time because as we see, the tens column is empty. Does dim byd yn y degau. There's nothing in the tens. So it is impossible for us to borrow from him. So instead, we jump all the way to the hundreds. Now that is the only reason for us to jump to the hundreds. If there is nothing in the tens column, then we need to go and borrow from Mr. 100. Alright? Os unig rheswm dyn ni'n gorfod mynd i'r cannoedd achos does dim byd yn y degau, dyna'r unig rheswm ni'n neud i'r cannoedd. Okay? So we're going to go to Mr. 100 and we ask, Mr. 100, please can we borrow 100 from you? He says, yes you can, because he has got enough. We take 100 away from 100, it leaves us with nothing. Tynnu cant oddi wrth cant, gadael dim byd. Now the 100 is too big to go straight to the ones, okay? So we're going to make a little pit stop at Mr. 10 first, and we're going to give the 100 to Mr. 10. Dyn ni am roi y cant i'r degau. Yeah? The 100 to the tens. So now Mr. 10's are sorted. He has got enough in there for him. However, we are still lacking in the ones. So we ask Mr. 10 now, please can we borrow a 10 from you? He's got plenty here. He says, yes, of course you can. We take a 10 away from 100, leaves us with 90. And we take that borrowed 10 and we place it straight in front of the ones. Okay? Dyn ni'n benthyg 10 oddi wrth y cant, sy'n gadael 90, a rhoi'r 10, dyn ni di benthyg yn syth ben o flaen y 2. Which leaves us with 12. So now let's see if we can solve this problem. So we're going to add the 10 here that we've borrowed. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're going to take away 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Which leaves us with 6. Gadael 6. Okay. Now we can complete the rest of this sum with no problem. Because we have borrowed from the hundreds, we now have enough in the tens, and that's why it's important. If we borrow from the hundreds, don't put it straight to the ones because we'd still have nothing in the tens. It has to go through the stages before it gets to the ones. So because we borrowed the 100 from here and we placed it on the 10, we now have enough to complete this section. So 90 take away 70. 6, 7, 8, 9. Take away 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leaves us with 20. 20. No hundreds, take away nothing. Leaves nothing. Dim cants, tynnu dim. Gadael dim. Okay. So 102 take away 76, is 26. Cant a 2, tynnu 76, and gadael 26. So I hope that's just one of the most challenging forms of subtraction, is when we don't have anything in the tens. Just please remember, we jump to the hundreds, but we also have to borrow back to the tens before borrowing again for the ones. It is a bit confusing, but please just give it a go. If you find yourself trying it and it doesn't work out, please check back on this video. You might have missed a key stage out. Okay, and there we go.